It's very nice to finally meet you. We've been playing your song for a little while, and it's nice to see the person behind the voice.
Thank you so much. Thank
So
you for having me.
I'm in Barrie, Ontario, and you are from Quebec. And this is the first single. Start Over is the first single that we've been playing of your music. So I'm wondering if you could just introduce yourself to our listeners. Maybe tell me a little bit about how music became part of your life.
So hi, I'm Zach Zoya. I'm a singer, songwriter, rapper from based in Montreal, Quebec, Canada right now. I'm originally from the outskirts from Rin-Noranda. And music came to my life. I must have been somewhere around 16, 17. Started making, a bit of hip hop with my high school friends. And very early on, they showed me a lot of love and support. Like even my family, everybody kind of supported me down that path. So I gave it a chance, gave it a shot. I stopped school for a year and gave it a try. And here we are now. Never looked back. So here I am.
How long ago was that?
I'm 20. I'm about to be 24. So okay. It's now been 17 years. Oh, eesh. Ooh, that hits. That's a long time. It's a lot longer than I thought. It's about to be almost a decade already. Ooh, that's tough. Time flies by. But yeah.
What was it about making music with your friends that really caught your attention?
I personally always loved hip hop and always loved music in general. I was a big R&B fan to start with. And I think hip hop, for young teenagers, it was a good thing to do together. It brings people together. And it was something I was very naturally good at, it seemed. And it just kind of fell into my lap. You know what I mean? Like I was an athlete. I was playing hockey. And that was kind of my transition into a new hobby and passion, something that I would do day to day. So it's kind of a smooth transition, to be real.
So did you stop hockey or you kind of did them both at the same time?
Exactly. There was a very small overlap towards the end of my career as a hockey player. There was a small overlap where I was making music and still playing sports. But very quickly, I think the next year I stopped hockey and went into music full time. So it was a pretty one replaced the other.
And being from a small town in Quebec, how was it for you getting into the music industry? Has it been a hard almost decade, or what's that like?
Honestly, I say it all the time. I've been very fortunate just in the way things happen for me. And indeed, it would have been like a very hard task and something that we really don't see coming from where I'm from to go into music in general, rap even less. So it would have been hard, but the pieces just kind of fell into place at the right time and, right time, right place. And it just kind of unfolded very naturally for me. I think the people in Quebec, we have a very solid music scene. It's kind of like self-sufficient. And so we get a lot of artists, a lot of OGs from the music scene here in Quebec who showed me love very early on. So I'm very thankful for that.
How was it for with your family when you decided to stop school and focus on music?
Surprisingly enough, my parents were kind of cool with it, surprisingly cool with it. I really, I had this conversation. I had to sit them down and had to be like, Mom and Dad, I'm dropping out of school to pursue my music dreams. But they took it kind of well. I think I approached it in a very rational and clinical way where it was like, I'm giving myself a year to put my all into music. And if it works out, then I'll keep going. If it doesn't, I'll go back to school. No harm done. And within a year, I guess I had garnered enough attention, and the music was working enough for myself and my parents to be like, hey, cool, this works. You're not just playing around doing nothing. You know what I mean? Like there was actual results. So yeah, it was surprisingly smooth.
So before the last 2 years, which have been very different, what did your career look like? Where were you traveling to? What were some of your best memories of that?
Yeah, so once again, I was very fortunate to get some love from the OGs here in Quebec. So I got to tour here locally in Quebec, Quebec City, Montreal. I got to go around even all the way up to Toronto and Ottawa. People showed me love very early on. So established artists here brought me on tour with them. So I got a lot of like a performance experience very early on, some show experience. So I got to like really mold myself on stage and own my skill before I even had songs out. I think at that point I might have had like only one songs on DSPs, and I still got to do like 45-minute sets. So I think that was a great great prep for what is now happening, you know?
And tell me what is now happening.
Well, Start Over is now number 14 on top 20 radio. We just had my quickest million streams on Start Over. As my other songs are breaking the 1 milli mark, Start Over, which was my latest release up until very recently, it got to 1 million very quickly. So we're starting to see a lot of, attention, and it feels great. It feels great.
And when you're making music, I saw just a couple of videos where it looks like it's just you and your friends, like in your house and in your own studio in your own place.
Exactly. That's not my house. That's Saran's house. My good friend and legendary producer, songwriter from Montreal as well. And yeah, his house is kind of where we go and gather. It's a sanctuary. It's where we make music. He has all the instruments you can think of. So that's the gathering spot. And I think that video you mentioned is a good representation of how a music night would go for us. Like the creation process is pretty much that. We just go around, have a little tea, and write music. Crazy
neighbors don't always show up though.
Don't always, but it makes good content when they do.
So tell me about what it feels like for you when you get to go on stage and perform. I've talked to a few other artists, and some of them say that when they go on stage, their mind sort of clears, like they have a loud inner monologue, and when they go on stage, it's gone. And some others say they have to they put on a bit of a persona before they go on stage so that they can become the singer of the band. What is it like for you when you head on stage?
I think I try to be as open as possible, given the fact that I do multiple things. I rap a lot, but I sing a lot. I think that part you said about like building up a persona is one of the reasons why I started with hip hop and rap, because the rap and just the hip hop scene kind of affords you to be in that persona of like being more confident than you really are, just kind of going out there and I don't care about what nobody says type of thing. And that was really my way in as an insecure, young, unaccomplished artist, as kind of my way in to be like, to fake having the confidence to actually go on stage. And now that I'm kind of getting comfortable enough, I can include and start to put a lot more R&B in there, which is what I'm really passionate about. And the fact that I got to do both, be very vulnerable on stage and very open about my emotions through the R&B side, and very like braggadocious on the more of the hip hop side, I think it gives me like a spectrum of I kind of get to be myself on stage, which I think is something great. I get to be just kind of open, very confident when the rap comes in, more vulnerable and open when the singing comes in. So it's freeing. But I think you're very right when you say that it clears your mind. You're really like, you're in the moment. It's one of the rare moments where you're really in the present,
But when he said that, it clicked for me, because I've been in choirs my whole life, and it kind of clicked for me. Yeah, because I have a very noisy inner monologue, and when I'm singing with a choir, it's gone. And then I had that light bulb moment. Like, yeah, it's right? That's why I love it so much. That's why I love singing. Yeah. So you are going to a big festival this summer, Osheaga. Yeah. What are you looking forward to with that?
Hey, I just can't wait. I got the chance to do it last year. It was the pandemic year, so it was not even half capacity, I think. It was still a great experience. It still felt good, and I was very fortunate to get to perform in the middle of a pandemic, so I was really thankful for that. But this year is bound to be crazy, full capacity, everybody coming from the outside. I'll get to meet many artists, and just to have this back and forth and see the fans, see the audience actually enjoy the music, I'm really looking forward to that.
And I think some people might be wondering if you ever play hockey, even just for fun, anymore.
I think I got rid of my skates about a year ago, but I need to get my whole gear back on, because it's part of me. It just doesn't make sense to not. We're Canadians. Come Come on.